this is definitely a game I wouldn't play. Anything sacrificing in a game, not happening. But somebody's got to play, so let's see what happens here. It's bad enough that boarding school students Samantha and Clara can't go home for the holidays, but things take a deadly turn when a murderous gang arrives on their doorstep, just in time for Christmas. Awesome. All right, playing the sacrifice game at Christmas. Wonderful, good times. All right, so uh, this one's obviously been out for a little while. It came out on Shudder. I unfortunately did not get a chance to do a review for it prior, so this is kind of one of these ones that I'm kind of going back to and catching up on. Um, but it's still fairly new, and so I'm going to try to keep this as spoiler free as possible. Like I said, this is on Shudder. Um, and this is probably going to be another one that I kind of had like some mixed feelings about, and I'll kind of get into that as we go along here. But yeah, you have a boarding school here. You're going to see a setup here with a couple of girls in the school, kind of focus on them. It is coming time to Christmas, and the school is going to, shut down. And as it seems, it's most typical in boarding schools, most of the kids go home, but unfortunately, not everybody can. So, of course, some girls are left behind. You get a little bit of glimpse into some of these girls, and one of the things that's kind of happening here is some bullying is going on, and obviously um, some issues with their home life as well, and that kind of thing. So yeah, and you're going to see, not only bullying, but maybe even some of the girls just not getting along because maybe some are a little bit stranger than others. So you have that as well. So um, you're going to have two girls here left behind, and I guess one of the other, I guess she was a teacher. I think she was a teacher, and her boyfriend, and think I think that was it. Maybe one other person. I don't know, but just basically not a whole lot of people there. Kind of get left behind for the holidays, and that's kind of where they're going. On the flip side of that, the movie opens in glorious fashion because you see four people walk up to this house and basically knock on the door, go inside, and slaughter these people, and in fun times. So, kind of as this movie opens and they show that scene, I'm like, hell yeah, we're ready to roll here with this one. I really enjoy movies that hit you like that, on the beginning. There was a movie that I turned on the other day, and it was just, it was like a dance scene to open the movie, and I'm like, oh god, like what? Because I think it was like a high school, whatever, blah blah, and I'm just like, oh, this is killing me. This is not how is this movie gonna start like this? Um, why? um, and it took forever to get to the final point of when someone was gonna die or not. But yeah, this movie kind of gets you right off the bat. You see almost immediately these four people come to the door, knock on the door. Hey, nice to meet you, and you're dead. And so fun times. Um, so I guess on the flip side of that is that sometimes when the movie starts so high like that, and then I get ramped up, to me you got to keep going higher, and sometimes in the movie, that's a real high point, and then the movie would just kind of I'm not going to say completely for this movie that the movie's going to go completely here, but it definitely is going to come down. And, at some points it's going to try to go back up a little bit, yeah, but then kind of go down. If I'm kind of foreshadowing my review here. But, that's kind of the way I felt. It is definitely a murderous gang, and the few other times that they really get involved in murdering or whatever, they're gonna do it. It's gonna get bloody and it's gonna be fun. So you know me. I'm gonna enjoy that. I think where the overall movie goes, it's kind of like, I wasn't completely into that. Um, but yeah, let's, kind of explore a little bit more about what's happening here with not giving everything away. So obviously this murderous gang has their intentions, has something in mind that they're up to, and a goal they're meeting. They didn't just knock on these people's door and kill them for the hell of it. I mean, they could have, and that's what it appears at the beginning, but there's more to it. As they kind of make their travels along the way, and in what their plan is, um, things kind of go wrong when one of them gets kind of shot. So that's kind of how they end up at this boarding school. They kind of are looking for a place to just um, kind of get out of the way. But also, it turns out that the one girl in the group there did go to school there. So when they kind of knock on the boarding school and just basically kind of make their way in, they still have bad intentions and still a goal in mind. So yeah, the teacher in charge, whatever, really has no choice in the matter. They're going to be in there one way or the not. So they do, and it seems, they make it kind of seem like it's okay, and then it's not. And I don't know, if I should get too far into it or want to get too far into it. I don't know if it's spoiler territory or not, but like I said, the gang is one young woman and three guys, and each different personalities. The woman is supposed to be the smart one. Then there's the one who's kind of the leader, and like he'll just slit your throat at the whatever because he can, but he tries. He's a real ass, and then you have the quiet big guy who's kind of the muscle, and he's just kind of there. And then you have the other one who's kind of like the bumbling friend or whatever, who might not be all in, but he's there anyway. Um, they get the two girls, they get the teacher, and they tied them up, and they're there having kind of a Christmas meal because that's what was going to happen regardless. And then that's kind of when you find out there was something else happening here. And it is called the sacrifice game, so we eventually get to the point where there's supposed to be a sacrifice. And when they do this sacrifice, they do it in the name of try to with expectations of a demon, a devil, or something of like that happening. Like I said, I don't want to get too far into details. That's when the movie kind of swings and becomes that kind of horror movie where we're dealing with a demon and a devil and that kind of thing. And to me, that's kind of where my opinion of the movie kind of swings. When it was just a murderous group and so forth, and we thought that they were just kind of bad people doing bad things, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed some of their deaths, the deaths that they caused up to that point, and some of the chaos that they're doing. And it's kind of the meanness of that group, and we've seen it in other horror movies, like that kind of thing. So I was liking the storyline, liking what was going to happen through that. Once we kind of get into this sacrifice and the movie kind of swings into the devil demon kind of thing, I wasn't feeling it as much. Maybe because I didn't expect that, maybe because I didn't want that, maybe because I had already kind of liked the group as they were, killing just people and just being mean and so forth. So the movie kind of swings to me when it kind of gets to that. Not that the movie becomes bad. I'm sure some of you guys who've watched it or are going to watch it will still enjoy the movie throughout. Not that it, kind of completely flips the movie or does anything like that. Just me personally, I just didn't want that angle. And definitely in the way the film then goes and ends, it just wasn't for me. Yeah, the blood and guts are still going to continue. There's still going to be some goodness of that in there. It is, that there's a scene where there's a little bit of I don't want to give too much away, but there's some music and there's that kind of thing going on here. And for those who have seen it, you know what I'm kind of talking about. I didn't really care for that either, and it was like, why? To me, it seemed. I know why, because of the whole demon, devil thing, whatever that was going on here. But it wasn't for me. I thought that was a waste of time. I didn't need to see that. I know that you're kind of setting that up. Once that kind of happens, you know, if you're not paying attention, you may miss it, but you know what's happening. They try to kind of hide it a little bit, but you know what's really happening here. And then the direction that the movie's going from here. And I don't know, like I said, story wise, whatever, and everything, whatever, it made sense. It went with whatever. I didn't want. Like, I was fine with what was going on, and wished it kind of continued at that. But then it goes to this other thing. Like I said, there's still, some killing, some blood involved, and I enjoyed that. But the rest of the story, and then definitely where it ended, I was like, whatever. In a way, it was a little more happier, even though it wasn't happy for everybody. It was a little more happier than I wanted it to be. Even though, yeah, I mean, whatever. I guess it's not really happy, but sort of happy, whatever. Without telling you guys what happens at the end, whatever. That's that way. But yeah, so really, really split on this movie. To me, is a movie. It's the blood and guts and that kind of thing I really liked. The way half the story was, I liked. The other half I didn't really like. So with that, I'm gonna just give it 2.5 pools of blood. If I was scaling it just on the blood and guts, definitely 3.5, 4, because I really enjoyed that. But I just didn't want what was happening in the second half of the film. Didn't make it a bad movie, like I said. I'm sure plenty of you watch it and like it, and maybe not have a issue with that. But for me, it bothered me. I didn't want that. I was happy where it was going. So that'll be 2.5 pools of blood out of 5 for me for this one. So horrorsgorereviews.blogspot.com is where you can find all my reviews, written and video, but certainly mostly video now. So feel free to like and subscribe and do all those things that everybody wants you to do on YouTube. If not, no worries, no problem. It is okay. We will not sacrifice you. It'll be fine. Twitter, Facebook information down below as well. Feel free to join me there. Talk about this movie, other movies, stuff you want me to review. Feel free to reach out to me there. And definitely in the comment section down below, if you have seen this movie, your thoughts, feel free to put them there. Were you kind of split like me on this movie, or did you just enjoy the whole thing? I'm sure plenty of you did, which is fine. So with that, again, 2.5 pools of blood out of 5, and I will catch you on the next review, horror fans.